Okay. So we've created a copy of our Scratch project. Hey, how's it going? I want to document what the Scratch project looks like when a user is going to encounter it. So instead of signing out of my account, I'm just going to copy this link, and I'm going to open an incognito window in Chrome, which I can do by hitting Command-Shift-N. You've probably used this before. You may recognize like the black bar at the top. You can also just go to File, New Incognito Window, and then I'll paste this in here. And so this is what it's going to look like when somebody who is not signed into your account, a user, is going to see the project. And so I'm going to use this as like the first image in my final post. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this as usual. So I'm going to hit Command-Shift and 4, and then hit the space bar, and then I'm going to hold Option and then click on this window. And so as we've kind of talked about before, that makes a screenshot of the browser window without the shadow. You can use the shadow if you like. It's kind of just a personal preference. And so now I've got an image of the game, and you might also want to take an image of the full screen game. Either one of these views would probably be a good place to start. So I'm going to go over to the Finder and make a new documentation folder. So I'll call this Scratch. Call this Scratch Final, and I'll throw this image in there, and I'll call this Scratch Page. And so I have an image that I can start with. I may also want to take some video to show some playthrough. Obviously I can't demo that because I'm recording a video right now. We've gone over it before, but I'll go over it in a moment when I'm done with this part. So let's minimize this, and we'll go back to our blog. So here's our class blog. I need to log in. If you see this, just open this in a new tab. As usual, that glitch is still with us. So let's log in. Okay, and I'm going to hit the plus button. And you can title this either Final Scratch Project or maybe the name of your game. So what did I call my game? Cat versus Birds. So I'll call this Final Scratch Project. Cat versus Birds. And then I'll put that image as the first image that you see there. And then right under that, I'll put a link to the project. So I'll say link to my Scratch project. And so I'm just going to type out the text that I want to link, and then select that and click the link button here, or you can hit Command K. And then I'm just going to grab this link here and paste it right there. And then if you want, you can change it by hitting that edit button and click open in a new tab. And then following this, we should have like a short description. So this really can be just a couple sentences, but you can elaborate if you want. I might say something like, for my first Scratch project, Scratch I guess should be capitalized, I made a game where the player controls a cat who wants to eat birds flying down the game window. And the birds can drop mice that attack the cat. So just a description of the game. And keep in mind when we're writing these posts, we want to think about how this would look if we had it in our portfolio. So, you may or may not want to use this in your actual portfolio at some point. But if you write it the way that you would if it wasn't your portfolio, it'll help you practice writing and creating stuff for a portfolio, which is going to be an important thing to do, regardless of whether you use this or not. But also, if you need something to add into your portfolio and you have this, you can throw it in there. So, you can add stuff in very easily. So I'm going to add a video as the last kind of like bit of documentation for this. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple. But feel free to elaborate if there's other things that you want to talk about, if there's interesting things you did with the code or the graphics as you were creating the project. Feel free to elaborate more on your process here.
So this one should be our goal number 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Okay, so I'm going to add a video in here, but I'm going to have to do that after I finish this video. So right now what I'm going to do is the rest of the process. So of course we need to add a category before we publish. So I'm going to go to the post section, and we need a new category for this. So I'm going to add a category here, and I'm going to call this Scratch Final Project, and click Add. And so we can use that category for these posts, and then I'll click Publish here. And of course, once that's done, you're going to copy this link and post that on Brightspace, and that'll be the Brightspace component. So I'm going to stop here. I'll review making a video real quick and post that, but then that'll be the last bit.